All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Chef Jessica. If you are just joining us, I have to let you all know my internet laptop is doing something weird. I have no idea what. I apologize. So I'm actually doing this on my phone right now. I think we should be good, but if anything, it looks different, or if I'm sideways, somebody said I was sideways earlier. That's kind of why. So just bear with me on that. I hope you all can hear me. Chef Kenna will be joining us in the future. She is not this evening though, so chat wise, I won't be able to jump on as quickly as normal. But other than that, you are here for Math Foundations, which is really just our beginners introduction to math, really covering some of the basics, going through some of those that you have maybe not used in a while. So I'm going to kind of get started. We will get into some questions here in a little bit. So I see everyone says I'm good. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I hope you can see what I'm showing you. It should say Zoom broadcast. And we are going to go into, oh, that's not what I want. Bear with me. All right. So I guess, can you guys all hear me okay? You can see my slides on my screen in front of me that you're seeing Math Foundations.
No slides.
You don't see any slides?
No.
No.
All right, thank you for your feedback. Let me, knew there'd be something weird. All right, now can you see everything?
Yeah.
There's
Better.
a thing in
Yes,
front of it. There
we
go.
can see it.
Perfect. Can you see Math Foundations?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback, because I've never done one from my phone, to be honest with you, but everything I have is on my phone, so we should be good. So our basic math foundations, we are going to start with just kind of some rounding, going through some basic stuff. So I have to be upfront with you and honest. If this is boring to you or you kind of know this, that's okay. We'll get more in depth throughout the weeks. This is just a starting point. So it is very beginner. I know some people do need it and some people need a good refresher here too. So if you're not one of those, I will not be offended if you jump off this, but we're going to talk about rounding and just number placement a lot and where everything is on in the numbers. So when we're talking about rounding, you're basically changing that number. You are moving that number either down or up. You are always looking at the whatever digit, whatever place you are looking for, whether it be a whole number or a tenth or 100th, we're looking for that number. And so when you're looking for whichever number you're looking for, you go to the right of that digit. So you look to one decimal to the right. That decimal to the right, or that digit to the right, always determines what you do to the one to the left, the one you're trying to figure out. So 4 and lower, you keep it the same. 5 and up, you round up. Now, again, some basics, just beginning principles. If you don't know your place is, that's okay. So this is a great little side chart to tell you where each number is. Our 1 is 100, basically this number in front of us, we have 123.5456. So the first number there, that 1, that's your 100th place. Your next one, that 2, is your tens place. That 3 is your ones place. Those are pretty basic. Those I'm sure you all know. Those are your whole numbers. So anything to the left of your decimal is a whole number. It is an entire part of something. Anything to your right of a decimal is a partial number. It's part of a whole number. So when you're talking part of a whole, think of it as a fraction or a partial of a whole number. So your first one to that right, that 4, is in the tenths place. That tenths place is basically 4 tenths, is why there's no ones when you get over to the right. So that tenths place is 4 tenths, or 4 divided by 10 of a whole number. Your next one is your hundredths. So in this example, we would have 45 hundredths. So 45 out of 100 of a partial number. And then that 6 is your thousandths. So you would have 456 out of 1,000 would be what that decimal is. This is really important because a lot of things you'll do throughout culinary school will ask you round to the nearest tenth, or round to the nearest hundredth, round to the nearest thousandth, round to the nearest whole number. You have to know your places to know how to round. So when looking at it, if I said round to the nearest tenth, which is a 4 in this example, you would look over to the right of it to your hundredths place to determine what to do. So you're always looking one over to the right, is essentially what you're doing there. And with that being said, I want to get into some examples. So feel free to put this in the chat. Again, I'm not looking at the chat. I don't even know how to get to it actually at this point. So if you are saying something in there, I will look in a minute because that is gone. But feel free to answer out loud, throw your answers in the chat, write them down, whatever you think. Let's just kind of go through a couple just quick practice problems, get a gist of our placements, our number placing. So what place is the 9 in this
Ones.
number? Did I hear ones? And
The
if you're
one-
saying
nine-
ones in the chat,
9 is in the ones.
ones, perfect, awesome. That 7, what place would that 7 be in?
The tenths.
Tenth.
The 10s, perfect. How about that 3?
Tenths.
Hundredths.
Tenths.
It's a tenth.
I heard some right, I heard some wrong. That would be the
Tenths.
10s. So because it is 1 over, think of it as 3 tenths, or it is 3 tenths, not think of it as that way. It is 3 tenths. So 3 tenths would be 3 divided by 10. It's 3 tenths. I don't know other way to say that. Let's try another example. We have 385.49. So what place is that 8 in?
Tenth.
Right? Tens. How about the 9?
Thousand.
Hundredths.
Hundreds.
Wait, no.
Hundreds. Yeah.
hundreds.
That would be hundreds, definitely. I know I heard some right answers. Nice job, whoever is answering out loud. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What place is that 3 in?
100.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Correct. Nice job. How about the 4?
Tens.
Tens.
Tenths. Nice job. What about the 5?
That's ones.
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 Perfect. You guys are doing great. So we're going to practice a few different couple rounding. So actually, that's kind of a trick question now that I'm reading it out loud. Well, this is asking you, what is it rounded to the nearest tenths?
96. 95.9.
It would be 95.8. There wouldn't be anything you'd have to do. I think
Oh.
I don't know why I put that in there because that's kind of tricky. But your tenths place is that 8. So you wouldn't have to do anything. Now, what would you do if you rounded this to the nearest whole number?
96.
5.9.
96.
96. Yeah, so that 8, the one to the right. So your whole number is anything to the left of the decimal. So you look to that 8, and that 8 determines what to do. Now, this is going to sound really childish and kiddish, but I love it, and you will remember this. When it comes to rounding, if you struggle with rounding, the best thing you can do is 0 through 4 stays the same. That number next to it, if you're looking at that number, you're looking to the right, 0 through 4, think of them as nice numbers. They're very nice. They're so kind. They let that other number right next to it stay the exact same. They don't make it change who it is. They let it be. If it's a 5 through 9, it's a bossy number or a mean number, meaning that it makes that number next to it change who they are. They're so bossy. I know it sounds crazy, but if you struggle with rounding, that will 100% help you going forward. So let's try a few more. So if we have 3.554, What is this rounded to the nearest hundredth?
3.55.
3.55? I think I heard somebody say that. If that's what you're answering, you're right. That 4 next to it means it's nice, stays the same. What is it rounded to the nearest whole number?
4.
It'd be
Exactly, 4.
4.
Nice job, guys. You're doing great. How about this one? 350.768 rounded to the nearest hundredth.
350.
51.
1.
351.
Rounded to the nearest hundredth. So your hundredth position is
Oh,
where that 6
77.
is.
Yeah.
So looking at that 6, you would look to the right, which would be an 8.
377.
Yeah, 350.8.
350.77 would be the answer to the nearest hundredth. Because you want to go 2 decimal places to the right for a hundredth spot. Oops. Ah. All right, the same number, what would it be rounded to the nearest whole number?
351.
350.
I heard some right answers. 351.
351.
Right. Perfect. Let's try another one. 398.3812. What is that rounded to the nearest whole number?
398.
398.
I heard some right answers there. 398. Perfect. Because the 3 next to it means it stays the same. How about rounded to the nearest hundred?
399. 398. You said the nearest hundred?
39.
Yeah, still
I heard some
398.
right. I heard some wrong.
400.
So looking, your hundredth place would be the 8.
8.
And so you'd look at the 1 next to that 8 to determine what to do. And since it's a 1, it stays the same.
The same.
So your answer would be 398.38. Be rounded to the nearest hundredth.
Oh, we was looking
I
at
am
the wrong.
going to jump back here real quick and stop my screen sharing. How are we all doing?
I have a question. This is Aisha. What was your rule about the nice numbers?
Yeah, for sure. So essentially my nice rule is if it's a 0 through 4,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice number. They're very kind. They make the number next to it, let it be. They let it be exactly who they are. They're so nice. They don't make it change. 5 through 9 are bossy numbers, and they're so bossy and mean. They make that number next to it change who they are. I know it sounds silly, but it really helps you remember having that little rhyme in your head, kind of trick
I
play.
remember from just overall doing decimals that, once it hits the 5, you're supposed to move up. But
5 are high.
it helps to have like a little, tune to it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a little saying. So I know a lot of people confuse the 5. So anytime you see a 5, just think that's a really bossy number. That's going to boss the other number around because he's so bossy.
Mhm.
And it'll
But
help you
also-
remember it.
But also at the same time, I've learned this from my old school, is that whenever from like 1 to 4, nice number, the car wouldn't go over.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you repeat what she said? Because I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear anything she
Down.
said.
I did not hear anything.
Five.
It was kind of cutting out for myself as well.
It was all
Yeah, it
slow
was-
motion for me.
I think she's still talking.
If that makes sense.
Ma'am,
She sound like she's in Morse code. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I guess I'm sorry, whoever was speaking. We definitely could not hear some of the stuff you were saying. But let's jump back
Type
in.
it in
Can
the
you guys
chat.
see my screen now?
Yes.
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 Awesome. All right. So when we are talking rounding for money, you only go 2 decimal places to the right. So anytime you are talking costing, purchasing, buying, menu prices, things like that, you are always rounding to the nearest cent. So your nearest cent is the 100th place. Anything to the right of that drops off, or you use rounding. The reason behind that is the penny is the lowest money we have. That is our lowest money denomination. So you can't have less than a penny. So anytime you're talking costing, and I just put a few examples in, basically you're always rounding to the 100th place when you're looking at costing, money, anything like that. So the few examples in here, we would have 0.312. So because it's a 2, you just stay the same and it becomes 31 cents. 0.587, the 7 is greater than 5, so you would round up to 59 cents. The next one, we have 47.398. So again, that 8 in the 1,000th place is greater than 5, so you would round up. And because where you were at 39, you go up to 40. So the answer on that would be 47.40. I feel like that's pretty simple or self-explanatory, but it's always good to say, anytime you're talking money, costing, pricing of anything, price per unit, things like that, you're always rounding to the nearest 100th spot. So let's just, oh, I just did literally all of those. And again, feel free to throw your answer in the chat, say it out loud. What is 1.58341 in dollars?
$1.58.
Yeah, whoever said that, exactly correct. Nice job, doing good. And the reason behind that, I should explain that, then just moving on, that 3 next to the 8 is a nice number, so the 8 gets to stay who they are. So the rest of the numbers next to it don't matter anymore because we're talking money. What would 4.9878 in dollars be?
4.99.
$4.99.
I heard some answers. Yeah, it would be $4.99. Again, you're looking at that 100th place where that first 8 is. You look to the 7 next to it. 7's a bossy number, moves that 8 up. So you'd have $4.99. I think I just told you the answer. That's all right. If you're struggling, this is a good one to work through. What is 89.3559 in dollars? If you didn't get the memo, it would be 89.36. Nice job.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so I'm still trying to think of how. I'm confused is all.
Hey, what are you confused on?
So I'm looking at the bottom number, and I know that so are you looking at the third 5 in that?
Yeah.
That number?
Yep,
Oh,
that's
okay.
exactly. Yep. So looking at it, you're always looking, whatever place you're trying to determine. So when you're talking money, you're always looking at that 100th place, which would be the first 5. So that's the digit that you're seeing what you do with. That's the one you want to either change or stay the same. So to determine what to do to that one, you look to one to the right, which in this circumstance would be that second 5, the third one in. That third digit or the second 5 is a 5. So because it's a 5, it's a mean number that's bossy, and it bosses that other 5 around. So it makes that other 5 change to a 6. Did that help a little bit? I hope so. Let's try a couple more.
Just
So what
kind of
would-
remember that when you counting money, it can only go up to 99 cents. So anything is, even if the third number is less than a 5, it stays, you just cut off the rest of the numbers up to the 99 cent.
Yep, that's exactly right. So like in this example, we have 2.333333. We have 5 3s. The last 2 3s in this don't even matter. They're gone. We don't care about them at all. We want to figure out what the third 3 does to the second 3 is really what you're looking at when you're talking money. So because it's a 3 and 3s are very nice, it stays the same. So this answer, you would have 2.33 or $2.33.
But this one says round to the nearest dollar. So would it just be $2?
Yeah, you're totally right. Thank you for catching my error. You know, I am so glad you said that because even I just made this mistake. In a lot of culinary math, in all culinary math, you could be doing the right math, the right problem, the right thing, but you could be answering the wrong question. So like I literally just did this and I made these slides. I literally answered $2.33. That's not even what the question's asking. It's asking what is it rounded to the nearest dollar. So thank you for pointing that out. And that would be just $2 because you would round down. Do we have any questions about that or how are we feeling here?
Good.
Awesome. So again, reading the full question, what would be is 89.99249 rounded to the nearest dollar?
$90.
$90. Perfect. Nice job. All right. So when we're rounding percentages, it's essentially, honestly, the exact same thing as just rounding numbers, but you put a percentage at the end. That's the only difference. So same thing, you have to look to see, is it asking rounded to the nearest whole, rounded to the nearest tenth, hundredth, thousandth? Basically, you're using the exact same rounding principles that we were using previously. It's just a percentage on the end. So let's try a couple examples here. What would 44.12% rounded to the nearest whole percent?
44%.
44.
Nice job. Yeah, 44%. How about this one? 2.3956% rounded to the nearest hundredth place.
240.
If you said 2.4 or 240%,
240.
that's exactly correct. It would be 2.4%. Because that 5 next to that 9 makes the 9 round up, which makes it become 2.4. Let's try this one. What is 382.84% rounded to the nearest hundredth percent?
383.
383%.
Again, this is a trick question. What is it rounded to the nearest hundredth percent?
382.8%.
382.8.
382.8%.
I heard somebody say the right answer.
382.8.
You wouldn't have to do anything. It would be 382.84%
8%.
because it's already in the hundreds.
It stays the same because you're doing it from the hundreds, so the number stays the same.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's kind of a trick question in there. But let's say we were rounding this to the whole percent. Now what would it be?
383.
Nice job. You guys are doing great. So this is a big thing that you guys will come across a lot. So the difference between rounded numbers and dropped numbers. Dropped numbers are anything to that right of that decimal goes away. It disappears. It doesn't matter if it's 0.99, it disappears. And you usually, and actually only for the most part, you will only be using dropped numbers when you are talking portions and serving sizes. When you have a portion or a serving size, you can never serve partial portion or part of a serving. You can't give somebody a quarter of a cheeseburger. So as much as you want to round up or down, everything to that right of that decimal just drops off completely. And whatever that whole number is your answer. So to give you a couple of visuals, here we have 2.75 servings of pasta or spaghetti. But if I was to ask you how many servings you have out of that, you only have 2 whole servings. So everything to the right of that decimal, even though it's a 0.75, drops off because you can't serve somebody a part of that spaghetti. Another same visual, just with cookies, is if we have 5.2 cookies, how many servings or portions do we have? We would have 5 whole
Five.
cookies. Exactly. So I'm gonna jump back here real quick and see how everyone is doing. Does anyone have any questions right now, or how are we feeling with this?
Feeling pretty good.
Good, awesome. Well, that is a lot of my, I guess, quote unquote, things I wanted to kind of teach you and go over today. But I do have some not slideshows. That's what we were just doing. I'm losing my mind. Let's see. I have some more practice that we can do. And so I am going to jump in there. And wherever it is, bear with me. Is this sideways or is it the right way for you all?
Looks like the right way to me.
All right, cool. Well, we'll go with it. It's sideways to me, but that's okay. You might see me tilting my head. So we're just going to kind of go over again some practice problems, just getting more familiar with it. In math, all math, regardless of what you're doing with it, the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll get, the easier it'll get for you. So talking about this type of stuff, again, the more practice problems you have, the better you'll get with it. So again, feel free to shout your answers out, throw them in the chat, whatever is easiest. So what number is in the hundredths place of 109.763?
6.
6. I heard some right answers. Nice job. What number is in the 10th place
7.
of 56.724?
7.
If you said 7, you were
Mhm.
right. How about what is 12.1999 rounded to the nearest whole number?
12.
Well,
13.
I heard some right answers. It would be 12.
12.
Because this is asking what is it rounded to the nearest whole number?
Oh,
So
okay.
you look to the 1 to the right, and that 1 is nice, so it makes it stay the same. So the answer would be 12. How about what is 5.6222 rounded to the nearest whole number?
6.
6.
Yeah, you guys are right. So the answer is 6. Yay. Because that 6 next to that 5 is mean and bossy, and it makes that 5 change who it is. So it'd have to move up. How about this one? What is 48.91222% rounded to the nearest hundredth?
48.
49.
48.9.
No, 49 point, yeah, 48.
40.91.
Hey, I heard the right answer there at the
48.91.
end. It would be 48.91%. So the 100th place is where that 1 is. So you look to the right of that 1, which is a 2. And that 2 is nice, so it lets it stay who it is. Stays the same. I forgot to put the percent sign on there. What is 78.1989 rounded to the nearest whole number?
78.
78.
78.
Yeah, I heard a lot of right answers on that one. Nice job, guys. What is 97.1911 rounded to the 100th percent? Why is there percent?
97.19.
Yeah,
Mm.
you guys are right.
Okay, so
I don't know why there was a percent there. There was no percent. I have to go back and edit these better. What is 76.2873% rounded to the nearest whole number?
76.
76.
Yeah,
76.
nice job, guys. 76. How about what is 29.2499 rounded to the nearest hundredth?
29.4.
29.25.
24.
I heard some right answers. It would be 29.25.
29.25.
You're looking at the hundreds.
Yep. So on this one, the 100th place, which is where that 4 is, you would look to the 9 to the right, and that 9 makes it move up because he's mean. How about this one? What is 13.9167 rounded to the hundredths?
13.92.
Perfect. You guys are getting good at these. What is 57.7832% rounded to the nearest tenth?
7.8.
I heard some right
57 points,
answers. It would be 57.8
Yep.
Oh, 3.
because that 10th spot is where that 7 is, the second 7. So you would look to the 8 next to it to determine what to do. So because the 8 is above, is 5 and above, it's a bossy guy, it would go to an 8. So 57.8. How about what is 29.451 rounded to the nearest whole number?
29.
29.
9.
30.
30.
Oh, yep, it's 30.
Oh, jeez.
I say 29.
This one's a tricky one.
This one, yeah, because it's 29. It's 29.
It's gonna be
Said the whole
29.
number.
You guys are right. So because you're looking to one spot over to the whole number, which would be the 4, that 4 makes it stay the same. Now, if you got 30, you might have looked next to the 5, rounded it and rounded again. But that's not how rounding works. You don't round more than once. You always look just that one spot to the right, and then you round based off that.
I understand.
And honestly, if you break it down, a lot to me, seeing this decimal, you have 0.451. So that number in a whole is 451 divided by 1,000 is what that partial number is. And just thinking about it in context to what we're talking about, 451 over 1,000 is
It's less
still
than
on the
50%.
bottom half of the 1,000.
It's still
So
less
it's
than
still
50%.
closer to 29 than it is to 30 is
Yeah.
basically what you're looking for.
Because the 45 is under half.
Exactly. Yeah, is less than a half. That's exactly what I was saying in a different way. That's a good way to look at it too. So what is, let's go to this one. Round this number to the nearest cent.
$26.45.
Yeah, I heard some right answers in there. $26.45. Because when we're talking cents and dollars, you don't have more than a penny. So you know you're looking at that 100th place. How about this one? How many servings or portions can you get from 98.911?
98.
98.
I thought I would trick you more than that. You got that right away. That's exactly it. So when we're talking servings and portions, forget every rounding principle I'm teaching you. Just drop that number. How about this one? How many servings or portions can you get from 4.689?
4.
4.
Oh,
Nice job. Round this to the nearest cent. 45.2911.
30.
I still say 45.29,
29.
45.29.
I heard some right answers in there.
45.29.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be 45.29. Because essentially you look to the right of that 9, which is a 1. And because it's a 1, it stays the same. How about this one? Round this to the nearest cent.
I can't see what number. I can't
2.9733.
s- Oh, 2.97.
Yes.
Yeah, nice job. You guys are getting the hang of this. How many servings or portions can you get from 3.576?
3.
3.
Nice job. You guys got those ones down. Those are easy. What is 76.893 rounded to the nearest tenth?
76.
76.90.
90.
Yeah, I heard a right answer. 76.9. So you would look at the 8. That's our 10th spot. You look to the right, you see that 9. 9s are mean, goes up. What is 453.7674 rounded to the nearest tenth?
453.77.
453.77.
So you're not wrong with your rounding. And this is again where you just want to make sure you're always reading the question it's asking. So what would it be rounded to the nearest tenth? I heard a lot of answers rounded to the nearest hundredth.
453.8.
I heard a right answer in there and I heard a few
0.8.
wrongs. So your nearest tenth,
453.8.
yeah, it would be 0.8, 453.8.
Because the 74 is higher than the 50.
Nope. So that
No,
74
no,
doesn't matter at all, actually, at the end. So looking at it, you would look at your first 7, and then you look to that to the right where we see a 6.
Right.
That
I
6
see it.
determines what to do to the 7, which is moving it up. So it would be 453.8.
I see that. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Let me jump back here. Oh,
I got out of high school in 76. So, it's coming back.
all right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I don't know what I did to my screen, but I cannot get it to come back. So I apologize. Give me 1 second. The beauties of technology.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
All right. So because I cannot figure out what I am doing, apparently, do you guys have any questions at all about rounding? How are we feeling?
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's a little clearer now. See it a little better now.
Do you guys have any questions about any of it at all?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, we're kind of done early, but we're going to be doing these each week. I almost want to tell you, I will have my technology sorted out by then. Today's not been a great day for me technology wise. So I apologize with that, but I think we got the gist of it. Next week, we will be covering some fractions, percentages, starting off with our basic volume conversions. So those will be great. I definitely, if you can't make it, I will be posting the recording as well, but I really appreciate you all joining me tonight. And I guess if you have any questions, I will stick around for a minute, but other than that, I think we are about good with the rounding stuff. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you for joining.
Hey, I just have one
Thank you.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
You know that, are you familiar with the website called Quizlet?
Yeah, I was just using it.
Oh, okay. I thought that looked familiar. Okay. That was my question, is if any of this type of stuff was on Quizlet.
Yeah, it is. And actually, if you've been to our tutor page on the dashboard,
Uh-huh.
if you go to the very bottom of our tutor page on the dashboard, on the Scaffier dashboard, there's actually a Quizlet link, and that will bring you to all of our Quizlets that we have for numerous topics, a lot of math, mostly math, but there's a lot of flashcards that we have in there, and you have access to them all.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. It just looked a little different because I'm on my phone.
Hi. Oh, one more question. Do you do this the same time each week?
Yeah, for this term, it will be on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Central.
Okay. Alrighty then. Thank you. I'm gonna bounce. Have a
Yeah,
great
not a
night.
problem. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Welcome.
Harold, if you are still on, I am seeing your message now in the chat. I think he left. Maybe not. Harold, you're still here? You are. Perfect. The Zoom link is in your email, and it's also on the Scaffier dashboard. So you can find the Zoom link on the tutor page. Tutor page. Thanks, everyone.
Sorry, I'm not so good with talking.
That's okay. As long as you're joining and getting the info, you are good. That is all I care about.
Well, I went through because I noticed it was like a workshop. So I went into the workshop details and stuff, and I couldn't find it in there. And the only way I could get to it was through my text message that I got just a little bit ago on my phone.
Oh, okay. So
It let me in through there, but I was trying to figure out how to get to it on my computer.
yeah, if you go on to the your Scaffier dashboard on your computer, and once you get onto your dashboard and your class, under the Start Here section, there's an online tutoring link. And if you click that online tutoring link, that brings you to our home page for our tutoring. And then that home page will show all of the workshops when we have them. And if you scroll down, it'll tell you all the links, all the Zoom links to join all the workshops on there.
Okay,
So that's one way.
right here,
Another way is you should, and actually it didn't go through yesterday, you should get an email. Today's email actually went out around 10:30 a.m. this morning, and that has the Zoom link to join as well.
Well, because I was in the tutoring section, and it goes tutoring workshops are recorded and posted in the archive tab below. So that's where it says Math Foundations at 7 p.m. This is where I'd find the archive for it.
That's where you would find the recorded ones after. If you scroll up a bit from that section, you'll see all these join live sessions, and it'll show you different workshops we have with the Zoom links above it. The archives are below.
Because like right here where I'm looking, it shows meet your tutoring team.
Yep,
And then
and then
it
scroll
goes
down.
weekly workshops.
Yep,
And then right below weekly workshops, it's got the I recorded and posted in the archive tab below.
there is a tab in between the schedule and the archive section. So you may have to click the drop down to the left where you see that arrow,
Yeah.
and it should, in between that schedule and in between the archived ones, you should see a lot of Zoom links to join different Zoom sessions.
Okay. Actually, it's below the chart for the recorded. Actually.
Okay, yep, it's right below the chart.
Yeah, I just found it.
Okay, cool.
So-
Yeah, that's where you'll find it to join every week for all of them.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little easier for me to do it on the computer than my phone.
Definitely, I agree with that statement.
even though I'm still having a hard time to where I've tried to post my assignments through my Chromebook, but I can't get it to work. But I go through, I do everything I need to on my computer, and then I go into my Google Drive, and I actually submit it on my phone. It's easier to do it that way. Go figure.
Okay. Yeah, Chromebooks are weird. That doesn't surprise me. As long as you can get the link submitted, whatever
Yeah.
way it works.
So I guess the reason I don't like Chromebooks now is there's very little you can do with it.
Yeah, it's very limited. That is for sure.
Because you can't really get apps for it. You can't really get programs and stuff like that for it that, I mean, I can't even play music with it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
I think I just figured out my own Zoom. It's definitely going to be an issue I will be working on tonight until I can get this figured out.
Are you on a phone or are you on a
I am.
computer? I was gonna say because it was just all over the place.
Yeah, my computer right before I was supposed to be in the session decided that
Internet said I'm taking a break. I don't care.
I needed to be in this meeting. So I was like, oh, I guess we're going to do it on our phone today. And here
That's what we got to do.
That's exactly right.
So.
But I am glad we got it all figured out.